When the Mountain Meets the Moon by Grace Lynn, Chapter 15. Ma and Ba sat in front of a small fire that Ba had built. Their disappointment at not finding Lenny forced them to admit their exhaustion. They had slept under the canopy of tree branches during the day, leaving their silver goldfish as a guardian. By the time they awakened, it was late afternoon, but neither of them made any attempt to move. Neither spoke, but both knew they weren't sure whether to go forward or back. While the sun burst into multicolored flames on the horizon, its last wave goodbye before sun-draining to night. Ma handed Ba a bowl of rice porridge. Neither of them spoke as they ate, both thinking about the goldfish man's words. Should they let Melanie try to change their fortune? Should they stop looking and, like the goldfish man said, trust her? Ba sighed. Trying to find Melanie is just like trying to find the paper of happiness. Ba said aloud to herself. What paper of happiness? The voice said. Ba looked around. Ba looked sharply around. Who had said that? He looked at Ma, but she continued to stir her porridge, obviously unaware. Ba shook his head. Perhaps his awareness is making him imagine things. Tell the story. Oh man, she's listening. The voice spoke again. She won't admit it, but she wants to hear it too. Ba looked around again. It seemed like the voice was coming from the goldfish. He looked closely at the bowl. It was firelight that made it glow like that. The fish stared back at him calmly, as if waiting. So Ba took a deep breath and began the story. The story of the paper happiness. Once long ago, a family grew famous for their happiness. It seemed odd that this would happen, but they were truly an unusual household. Even though aunts and uncles, cousins and grandchildren lived together, there was never a cross word for unhappy noise. All were polite and thoughtful for each other. Even the chickens did not fight. Each other fed each other for food. It was said that even babies were born smiling. Stories of their happiness spread like seeds in the wind, sprouting and blooming everywhere, until finally even young Maastricht Tiger heard of them, even though he just had begun his position. This was before his son was born. The bellowing, roaring Maastricht was already called Maastricht Tiger. Impossible, he discovered. The stories are untigered. No family can be that happy. Even so, he was curious and sent an emissary to the family to observe. The emissary returned a word. You're magnificent. It is just the stories say, he said. I observed the family for a full moon. Not one sad or angry one was even whispered. The adults were loving and faithful. The children were gracious and respectful, and all honored the grandfather with and down. The rivals, the gods, even the dogs do not bark, but wait patiently to be fed. The family circle is one of complete harmony. That's impossible, the Maggart said, astonished. But as he thought about it the more, he began to wonder. What was the secret that family had? They must have something magical, charm or hidden knowledge. And this began to irritate him. He began to covet the family's happiness. I am Mastrate, he thought. If there is a secret to happiness, I should have it. So he called his emissary to him and presented him with an empty, heavily uncrushed chest and company of soldiers. And a company of soldiers returned to the family, Mastrate Tiger ordered, and tell them that I want the secret to their happiness. Put it in this box. If they do not do also, they have the soldiers destroy the home. The emissary did as he was told. When the troop of soldiers surrounded the house, the family looked fearful. But when the Mastrate man was announced, the father smiled. That is easy enough, he said, and he had the trunk brought to the house and returned in moments. It is done. I've pulled the secret to that happiness inside the box, he said, and you may take it. We hope it serves your master well. The emissary, slightly surprised at ease of his task, but could find no objection. So he turned the soldiers in the box around and began to travel back to the place. The emissary knew the Master Tiger would be impatient for his return, so the soldiers marched through the night with only the light of the moon to guide them. The treasure box lying on the platform carried by 4 men seemed to glow. However, as the ground grew rocky and steep, a sudden wind blew like the mountain itself was yawning. One of the soldiers stumbled in the rising dust, and the box crashed on the ground. The lid of the box flew off and freed butterfly. A single sheet of paper floated out. Get it! The emissary shouted at the soldiers. Don't lose the secret! But despite his yells, the paper seemed to be able to escape the soldiers' flying arms. One soldier almost caught it, his very fingertips touching the page, but another sudden wind burst through the air and stole it away. Silently, the emissary and the soldiers watched the paper lift higher and higher in the night sky until it overlapped the moon and disappeared. The emissary had no choice but to return to the place with an empty box. As he relayed the story, Master Tiger, not surprisingly, was endangered. You lost it? It was paper! The Master roared. What was on it? You're magnificent. The emissary trembled. As I felt the secrets for your eyes only. I did not read the paper before it was lost. However, it was in the air. All I could see that there was a single line of words on it. What did the line say? The Master demanded. I don't know, Master, the emissary said, but there is one soldier who almost caught it, and it was closest to it. Perhaps he was able to read the line. So the soldier was called in, and very humbly did he bow. He was little more than a boy, and had only recently joined the Master's army for a small, poor, fairy village. You, the Master said, you were only the soldier close enough to the paper to read the line. What did it say? The boy flushed his head and touched the floor as he bowed again. Great Master, I'm your poor servant, he said. I was close enough to see the line on the page. However, I cannot read. I do not know what the line said. Master Tiger scowled with irritation, and the emissary and the soldier shivered. I did notice something, the soldier said. What? The magic demanded. There was only one character on the page, the soldier said. The line was one word written over and over again many times. One word, Master startled. His anger seemed to burn deep in his eyes. One word is the secret to happiness? It was a trick. The family must have thought they could see me and us to gather all of my troops. I personally will get the secret of happiness and punish that family of lousy dogs. So the next day, the Master Tiger and his entire army prepared for destruction. The emissary led the way to the home of the happy family, but when they arrived, nothing was there. No house, no chickens, no or sheep, no family. Instead, there was only a flat plain, as if it was a whole home. They had been scooped up from the earth. Master Tiger scowled at the blank ground with rage and vowed out to punish the family for their disrespect. But while he glared, the wind blew and covered him with a grayish-green dust. As he stood like a green powdered statue, he felt as if the sky were laughing at him. So I think Melanie, like the secret word in the paper of happiness, Bob said, it is not meant to be found. He glanced at Ma while she did not meet his gaze. She made no objection either. And tomorrow, Bob continued gently, we should return and wait for her to come home. Again, Ma said nothing, but barely, perhaps only because he was looking for it. She nodded. Ba nodded back, and her quietly took some rice and dropped it into the fishbowl. Thank you for joining When the Mountain Meets the Moon with me. Next time we'll be reading chapter 16. Hope you come back and see it. Bye!